So we have a new clip for the Acolyte, but I wanted to address a comment that I had on my last trailer reaction about me having a negative mindset and all of that when it comes down to me not liking the trailer instantly, even before watching it or even watching the show. My thing is, when it comes down to entertainment, whether it's TV shows, gaming, movies, they require two major things: money and time. And when it comes down to those things, I need to know whether this is worth the money. Like, if I didn't have a Disney Plus subscription, is this worth the minimum of $14 for me to see this? And is this worth the 40 or so minutes, really depending on the show? Because even Mandalorian season 3, that time was fluctuated between each episode. But is it worth me wasting my time seeing this? And when it comes down to this show, I know a lot of background information. That's why I mentioned in my Deadpool reactions that the background info for this worries me about the movie. The background info for the Acolyte immensely worries me. But let us actually watch this. And before even pressing play, this character is going to die. There's no way that she doesn't die in this encounter. But yeah. Oh, it's not a clip, it's a TV spot. Cool.
Star Wars: The Acolyte, 2-episode premiere June 4th, only on Disney Plus.
Okay, let's forgot to mute. All right. What did this come off? Okay. Okay. So it must have been like right here or something. I can't tell if that's good. Okay. So see, when it comes down to this and the background info for like the story, the plot, on paper it sounds good, with like two siblings separated from birth. If this is not true, then take it with a grain of salt, but there was a leak about two siblings. One sibling was chosen to be trained as a Jedi and so on and so forth, and the other sister was abandoned, and a dark side force user engineered a situation where the people were slaughtered and the Jedi did not help, even though the Jedi promised to help. That was supposedly the leak. But when it comes down to what Leslie Headland says, my problem with her is, besides being the assistant of Harvey Weinstein for years and being allegedly complicit in everything that he did, my issue is the things that she talks about, she plays them up to sound insightful and revolutionary, when in reality, it just adds another crack to the new canon that they have going on, which they've already had a lot of cracks in it because of this whole High Republic thing anyway. Like, the High Republic era and even the Mandalorian era, I think they shouldn't even exist, because in the earlier new canon books, they've established that when it came down to Star Wars Bloodline and even the Aftermath trilogy, it is heavily implied after the Battle of Jakku, nothing important happens until the years leading up to The Force Awakens. Which, when I say years, I don't mean like the first couple of like years where The Mandalorian is set. I'm talking about when Kylo Ren is already a fucking adult. So the most that they talk about is there being political bickering, but that's it. Thrawn wasn't mentioned. Imperial remnants taking pot shots were not mentioned. Even in Bloodline, they talk about how the Imperial fleet retreated and they're just lying in wait. Maybe that's some wiggle room for them to say, oh, yeah, that was Thrawn and he disappeared after the conflicts that he had in his most recent campaign. But even when it comes down to the High Republic era, I own the first two books. I've read the first phase in the comics. The first phase in the comics were okay. The book, I cannot get past chapter 3, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why I can't get past it. But the High Republic, to me, is completely insignificant. At least that's how I view it. Because it's not talked about at all. If I'm not mistaken, the Ruusan Reformations are still canon. Darth Bane is definitely canon. So it's been 1,000 years between the end of the Brotherhood of Darkness and the Phantom Menace. I know about the small conflicts that happened in Legends where Dooku was disillusioned by all these unnecessary Jedi losses. And you saw a little bit of that in Tales of the Jedi, even though it kind of messed with the Jedi Lost book for Count Dooku, which I think is honestly, Tales of the Jedi was a little bit better than that book, if I'm being completely transparent. But when it comes down to this, I'm not confident in it at all. Like, she even mentioned about like how she's going to change how the Force is viewed, which again is a lore breaking thing, and you need to do what I already forgot the name of the voice actor who did Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars. But he mentioned, I know I saw an interview of him, and he mentioned that he could never go there with Anakin becoming Darth Vader. Like, in his mindset, he could never think that he would go down that road. So my advice would have been to Leslie Headland, just don't think of what the Jedi should be represented as in your own story. Go by how they are perceived in the galaxy for the prequel era, which you can make the argument that the Jedi being glorified police, and they've made some comments on that in the last trailer. I'll concede that, but she's playing up her characters to be more bigger, more important, more revolutionary than what they are. And I get it. It's promotional stuff. I completely understand. I can't think that this show is going to be good. I would like it to be good. I really, really do. But the writers and the story group are not helping at all. But that's my soapbox. I just needed to vent my frustrations about this whole thing. Like, it is yeah, that's pretty much it.